Welcome back. All right, today we're doing something really cool. We're breaking down the actual blueprint for building a one-person business in 2026. Look, if you've ever thought about going solo, about really being your own boss, this is it. This is your starting line. Let's dive right in.
Okay, first things first, let's just get a sense of the scale we're talking about here. We're looking at a $1.7 trillion economy. That is a massive number, and it's being driven by over 30 million individuals, just like you, going it alone. So yeah, this isn't some niche trend, it's a fundamental shift in how work gets done.
And you know what's fueling this whole thing? This one simple, powerful idea. The tools we have now, especially AI, they're not just a little bonus anymore. They're not just an advantage. Nope. They are the baseline. It's the new starting point. And that's what's so incredible, because it means one single, focused person can now literally do the work of an entire startup team. That's a game changer.
So, the big question is, how do you actually do it? Well, that's what we're here for. We've dug into the advice from some of the best founders out there and put it all into a clear playbook. Let's kick things off with Section 1, the Solopreneur Revolution.
And get this movement isn't just huge, it's actually growing faster than the general economy. We're seeing solopreneurship grow at 5%, which, easily beats the pants off overall GDP growth. The momentum here is absolutely real, and it's only picking up speed.
All right, Section 2. So where does this journey actually begin for you? It starts by looking inward. Seriously. Before you write a single line of code or build a single product, you have to figure out your unique advantage. The thing that AI, or anyone else for that matter, just can't copy.
And that brings us to our very first strategy, which I love. It's from Samir Vasavada, the CEO of Vise, and his advice is so simple it's almost radical. It's this: find your superpower. Find that one thing you are truly, uniquely great at, and then, here's the hard part, have the discipline to ignore everything else.
So you're probably asking, okay, how do I find this supposed superpower? Well, Vasavada has a really simple 3-step plan. First, just go ask your friends, your coworkers, hey, why do you actually like working with me? Then, just listen. Listen for the common thread in their answers. That's your spike. That's where you naturally crush it. And the final, most important step, pour every ounce of your energy into making that strength even stronger. Stop trying to fix your weaknesses.
And man, this quote just nails it. Careers compound no different than capital does. Think about that. So many of us jump from passion to passion, project to project. But the real, lasting success, the kind that builds a legacy, that comes from sticking with one thing long enough for the results to compound, just like money in the bank.
Okay, so this second piece of your unique advantage, this is crucial. It's something Amjad Masad, the founder of Replit, calls tacit knowledge. And what is that? Well, it's all the stuff you can't find in a blog post or a book. It's the know-how that's baked into you, from your personal experiences, the skills you have that just aren't written down anywhere.
Just think about it like this for a second. An AI model has read the entire internet, right? But it hasn't lived your life. It doesn't know about that one weird job you had, or that project that failed spectacularly, or that one incredible success. Your life experience is the one data set it will never have. And that, right there, is your ultimate competitive advantage.
All right, Section 3. So now that you've figured out your unique strengths, it's time to point them at the outside world. Because let's be real, a superpower is pretty useless if you're not using it to solve a painful problem that people actually care about. And for this, we're going to borrow a really practical playbook from Xiao, the founder of Opus Clip. It's a 30-day research sprint. And the key is, you don't start with the tech, you start with the user. You spend 2, maybe 3 weeks just diving deep into a super specific niche. Understand their daily grind, their biggest frustrations. Then, and only then, you use AI tools to whip up a quick proof of concept and show it to them.
So, you've built your prototype, and you're showing it to potential customers. What's the single most important question you can ask? What's the feedback that truly matters? I'll tell you what it's not. It's not, so do you like it? Or what do you think of the design? It's this: how much money you are willing to pay for it. That's it. That's the whole game. Because that question cuts through all the polite feedback and gets right to the heart of the matter. Is the problem you're solving painful enough that someone will actually pay you to make it go away? That's the only test for value.
Okay, moving on to Section 4. We've talked about what to build, but now we need to talk about the how. Because being a founder is a mental game. It's a marathon. So this section is all about mastering the founder's mindset. It's about obsession and learning the right way.
So check this out. Aravind Srinivas, the CEO of Perplexity, makes a pretty stark argument. He says in this day and age, trying to catch a market wave is basically pointless. Why? Because if your idea is good, a giant company can and will copy it in a weekend. Your only real defensible moat is your personal obsession, building something you'd build anyway, even if the odds were stacked against you.
And that obsession? It needs commitment. Srinivas talks about his 2-year rule. And the idea is simple. It takes about 2 solid years of deep, sustained effort to get genuinely top tier at something hard. Whether it's coding or writing or AI, you just have to be willing to outwork and outlearn everyone else.
But okay, maybe you're thinking, 2 years? That's a huge commitment. And what about the risk? Well, there's another path. Serial entrepreneur Daniel Priestley has this amazing strategy he calls the 7-7-6 apprenticeship. The core idea? Be a great number 2 before you try to be the number 1.
So what's 776? It's a formula. You find a business doing 7 figures in revenue. It needs to have 6 figures in profit. And you go work directly with the founder for at least 6 months. It's like a real-world MBA. It pulls you right out of the corporate world and shows you up close how a real, profitable business actually works.
And the benefits you get from this are just huge. First, self-awareness. You learn what you're actually good at and what you're not. Second, commercial awareness. You see firsthand how to turn an idea into actual profit. And third, you get access to the founder's network, their resources, their talent pool. Stuff you could never get starting from scratch.
Okay, last section. Let's pull all of this incredible wisdom together. We've covered mindset, we've covered strategy. Now it's time for your 30-day launch plan. This is the actionable checklist to get you started like tomorrow.
So here it is, the 2026 action plan. Number 1, pick a razor-sharp niche, one that connects to your personal story. 2, build an AI content system to get your message out there. 3, run a 30-day launch sprint with a very clear metric like getting 1 paying client. And 4, and this might be the hardest one, control your time, get off social media, and focus.
And here's a super practical, foundational tip you absolutely can't skip. Credibility. From day one, you have to look legit. A professional-looking domain name, something like a .online, it just immediately tells people you're a real business, not some fly-by-night operation. And fun fact, because online is such a common search term, it can actually give you a little boost in search rankings. It's a small thing that makes a big difference.
So there you have it. We've walked through the entire playbook, from finding your superpower all the way to launching your first sprint. Look, the tools are here, the opportunity is massive. One focused person really can have the impact of a whole team now. The blueprint is right in front of you. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build?